We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much, developed, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it! My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
And now, Reality Rants with Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
We are live on election night. We're going to be going over a bunch of news stories that are outside of the red wave or the big steal. Obviously, we're going to cover which elections have been called, which ones are supposedly now going to take days, as predicted by the chief puppet in office, Poopy Pants Zombie J. Got the fact check. He said, be patient. We should all just be patient. All I'm going to say is obviously Arizona is a place to look. There are big failures and controversies right from the get-go. We're not allowed to talk about certain things on certain platforms. We're going to let everybody speak. We're going to go to your questions and comments via the YouTube stream. If you're happening to listen to this over at Rockfin or watch it over on Rockfin, you can also Tipsky and Hutch over there, skipping the line. We'll jump over there for you. And from time to time, we're going to go to the C-SPAN live coverage because to me, it's the least partisan. Like right now, if you go there, we got the sound off, but they've got the call lines for everybody, okay? And you can kind of see which races have at least been called by the mainstream media, another thing that we're going to go over. But I want to start here. Shout out to my fellow Iowans. There's a reason I moved to Iowa. Kim Reynolds, she's not perfect. She's got flaws. The Republican Party has flaws, but guess what? Kim Reynolds, she takes governor. Big, important position. Had Todd McGreevy on earlier in the broadcast, the Reality Rants morning show, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern. And we discussed really these local elections, which no one's really talking about, just as important, especially when we're talking about law enforcement. Okay? So Kim Reynolds, she wins. Again, shout out to my fellow Iowans. Shout out to Tom Detmore, if you're watching, my friend, one of the big supporters of the broadcast. So that's the first story I wanted to go over there. Second one is here. Bring him in, John. Awkward moment. John Kerry shakes hands with Venezuela's ex-president Nicolas Maduro at COP27 summit in Egypt, despite U.S. having a $15 million bounty on the quote-unquote narco-terrorist. Now, look, I'm not here to bash Nicolas Maduro. I have no idea if what they've said about him is true. I have no idea whether he's a great leader or a bad leader or somewhere in between. I know people like Blumenthal, who I respect, and people like Abby Martin have done pieces basically showing how the United States and the Central Intelligence Agency was very involved in a lot of the destructive things that were going on there, and that's always going to be worth a look. But you got John Kerry, who arguably runs more of the country, both foreign and domestic, because you got to understand this green agenda that they're putting out, this globalist agenda, is going to affect us in so many ways that we can't even imagine. And it's going to come home as well. And they're doing this through their push for global governance. If you saw the show with Todd, I'm not sure whether it was in the first or the second half, but we played clips of Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. We were talking about things like COP15 oh so many years ago. So here is Nicolas Maduro and John Kerry shaking hands. Hey, how you doing? Hey, buddy. Hey, it's good to see you. We got a similar agenda now. Huh? Oh, yeah. There it is. There's the guy. It's all a big game. Hey, thank you. Hey, we'll say, hey, no, you. Yeah, you. So again, all this stuff out of the normal election cycle, the normal left-right politics. Hell, you want to talk about election fraud. First of all, John Kerry was put there to lose in 2004 against Bush because Bush was an extremely unpopular president post-war on terror, post-Iraq. People were starting to get hip to the lies. They were also starting to get hip to the lies of what? 9/11. You remember the Eminem video for Mosh? Right? So Kerry was stuck in there as clear controlled opposition to throw the election. In many cases, it looks like Kerry won the election in 2004, and that's where we started to see outward corruption with fractional voting and these machines being installed everywhere. That's the reality. And look at it now. Kerry has been rewarded by clearly running much more of the country than Joe Biden does. It's not even close. It's clear. Okay? So I want to go down the line here. You can't make this stuff up. When you win, bring it back to Malibu. Actor Sean Penn hands over his Oscar to Zelensky. Now, Sean Penn, obviously on everything they'll allow him to be on in this day and age, where technology, as a man at least, will allow you to, take testosterone and live a richer and fuller life if you have the money, right? Work out all these things. He's not a large man in person. Look how tiny Zelensky is compared to Sean Penn. I mean, he's such a tiny dude. And I guess for some, he is really a great actor. And I mean, that is his roots. And now he's a hologram as well. I mean, he is a tiny, tiny guy, but they've sold you to him as Rambo. And maybe he deserves that Oscar right there from Sean Penn, who, advocated on the Sean Hannity program. We've played the clip, I think 6 to 8 months ago, that, hey, if nuclear war is imminent, who's going to be the bully? Who's going to be the what? Who's going to be the bully? Are you suggesting that the United States should set off nuclear weapons, Sean Penn? That's the post-truth world we live in, okay? That's the insane reality. Now, there are some people that have won, by the way, that I think look, I don't put my weight behind the vast majority of these people, right? How can you trust any of them? But someone like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I actually liked as the press secretary for Trump. She won in a landslide. People were calling things for Herschel Walker. Warwick, I just saw him on C-SPAN, right? Here's the feed behind me. This is DeSantis talking earlier. DeSantis wins in a landslide. Huckabee wins in a landslide. Warwick is not conceding. I want to put that out there as well. But hey, we've got other things to talk about. It's a mixed up, crazy world. And a lot of people, they'll ask me about certain things and what I believe about history. And I always say this, look, I'm 43 years young. I barely have any idea what's happened in the last 40 years. The stuff that I talk about is a minute, small window into the vast realities that are hidden to us and the vast secrets of the earth, of nature, of the existence of man. right? Of spirituality, you name it, all those things. Of history in general, because once you get past a certain point, you're literally talking about stories that were written down with not even any photographic evidence. And that stuff is extremely vital, but let's not forget that time and time again, history is written by the winners and is sometimes inaccurate. And archaeologists are sometimes inaccurate when they're describing this stuff. Oh, listen, Kari Lake's talking. So we're going to go to Kari Lake. I do want to do this because I want to see what she has to say right now, and then we'll go back to this story.
We have a movement. We have a movement, and we know it. Did you feel it? Did you feel that movement? You know, I did a lot of praying to God. I've been praying to God every day, all day. And I said to him, you make this victory come whatever way you want. If it comes decisive on election day, then bring it to us that way. If we have to fight through the BS and the garbage, then we will fight through the BS and the garbage. But how do you get fair and free elections? You have to fight and win to make them fair and free. And we needed another stark reminder that we have incompetent people running the show in Arizona. Who is ready for a change? We had great patriots around this state show up today. It was so amazing. They showed up at the polls early this morning only to be told the election equipment didn't work. 2 minutes into voting, we had people being told, well, you're going to have to put your little ballot over here into another box. Guys, the fake media back there tried to tell us we were wrong for asking questions about our elections. Guess what? We are going to win this. We are going to win this. How many of you remember a couple months ago, August 2nd, the primary election? Wasn't that long ago. We came out and they said, oh, wow, they're 10 points down. The fake news was asking us to concede. And we kept climbing. We turned 15 points around and we won by 5 points. I just want you to know it's early. It's very early, and if we have to take this fight through, we will. If it takes hours or days, we will. But the great news is every single drop of election ballots that have come in the last 3 drops have shown us up 85%, 87%, 81%. I just want the propagandists back there to know, don't embarrass yourselves. Don't embarrass yourselves. Don't do it again. You've done it too many times. But what I want you to know is that the same movement we had last night at that rally in Prescott, the same movement we had at that rally in Scottsdale, the same movement we had at the rallies we've had before with record people is the same movement we have right this second. Nothing has changed. And I want you to know we are going to monitor the ballots. We got to work in this system that we have right now. And as they continue to come in and our numbers go up like they did last time, when we win, first line of action is to restore honesty to Arizona elections. Now, God did not put us on this fight because it was going to be easy. Not one thing that we've had to go through has been easy. We beat back a billionaire in the establishment, okay? Let's just be frank. We have had everyone come against us, tens of millions of dollars in spending coming against us. Nothing has been easy. When corruption has risen to the level that it's at right now, it takes tough, strong people. Are you tough and strong? Are you willing to continue this fight? Are you willing for incompetency to play itself out and the victory to come at us? I am willing to wait for that, and when we win, and I think it will be within hours, we will declare victory, and we will get to work turning this around. No more incompetency and no more corruption in Arizona elections. Now, I love you. I love you.
You gotta love her. I'm sorry. It's hard for me not to like this woman.
I kind of feel like it's a Groundhog Day. We had November 3rd, 2020. That was called Incompetency 101. Then we had August 2nd, 2022, Incompetency in Elections 202. And now we're at Incompetency in Elections 303. We need honest elections, and we're going to bring them to you, Arizona. I assure you of that. The system we have right now does not work. We, the people, deserve to know on election night the winner and the loser. And we will bring that kind of election back to Arizona. I assure you of that. I love you too.
Come on, let's get 100 thumbs up, everybody. We're
guys,
live.
I'm looking out here at these beautiful faces of the children. Put your hand up if you're a young one in this audience, if you're a child. This is what it is about. We got involved for our children, and we will not stop fighting until we have every legal vote counted. So we're going to be patient. We're going to be patient, guys. We're going to wait. Right now, I told you the votes that are coming in are going our way, 81, 85, and 87%. And we will take the victory when it comes, and we will turn this around. Thank you, everybody. Let the partying begin. We know this movement is just beginning. I love you, Arizona. I love you, Arizona.
There she is.
I love you.
Look, Kari Lake. That's a strong woman. See, that's a strong woman. That's a woman that left her career in journalism, in which she was extremely successful and known on the local scene, came out against the very media she was a part of and told the truth about them, especially during an extremely nightmarish situation, not only in this country, but throughout the world. And I don't pray a lot. Thoughts and prayers with that woman. So we're going to continue to do stuff like that as it breaks on the side, as news breaks. But before that, guys, and by the way, thanks for getting those thumbs up on this live occasion. Right now, they're calling it 56 to 43. She's down supposedly 12 points. 12 percentage points. It's a lot. Almost 200,000 votes. Okay? We're going to keep an eye on that. And again, they're already telling us, you'll see in a moment, that the Pennsylvania election, Oz has already spoken. I haven't seen Fetterman speak. That's going to take days. That one's going to take days, everybody. So look, even if this red wave, and right now, even the mainstream media that's holding water for the establishment left and collectivism in general, right? They're admitting that it's not quite a wave. It's a little bit of a trickle. They're edging us out. Mike Adams today made a great point, okay, the health ranger. He said, look, when Trump was in, they had the Senate, they had the Congress. What did they really do? He's like, there's a couple things, but not that much. No shizzle. Damn straight. They didn't get a lot done. And how many of these people right now, Hochul stomped out Lee Zeldin. And I don't know if that's legitimate or not. I don't know if there are any legitimate elections in New York. In Pennsylvania, they're saying, in some reports, 90+% of Philly voted Fetterman. I mean, what do you believe in a post-truth world where they control the voting machines and the entire mainstream media on both ends of the spectrum, really? You know, you get a little flavor on Fox, and a lot of those candidates won, by the way. J.D. Vance won. It looks like Herschel Walker won, but whether or not that actually happens, hey, we could be waiting days. So, as I was talking about before all this ramble, and we'll go back to election stuff, and get your questions and comments in via YouTube. We are going to go to you in the AMA style at some point. I wanted to talk about this story. Discovery that rewrites Italy's history. More than 24 bronze statues are unearthed after being perfectly preserved in Mediterranean mud for over 2,000 years. Dig changes understanding of how ancient Italians transitioned into the Roman Empire. And anytime I see something like this, right, that changes what we know about history, happens all the time, happens every day. Oh, a little treasure right there. Anytime I see something like this, I'm blown away because we act like we know it all. We act like AI is going to give us the secrets of the universe. It's going to tell us our true history as man. We accept things that, in my opinion, are insane to accept without critical thinking, right? Like, for instance, a Big Bang Theory. Now, that doesn't mean I'm holding water for Jesus Christmas, and I'm not coming down on Christians by any means. Doesn't mean, you know, that I'm in it for Muhammad either, or any of these so-called deities, Zeus, Thor, Odin. Doesn't mean I am, but at the same time, you know, this idea that something came from absolute nothing, and science is the new God, and Earth is the new God. Even that stuff, that Gaia stuff. We talked about COP27, literally talking about making it the new religion. It's like you can't make that up. Oh, it looks like I must have deleted it. You want to see me go over it? I go over it well with Todd. And by the way, guys, Reality Rants, first hour free, second hour free on audio over at Podbean. The links are down below and the best ways to support the broadcast. And one of those ways is to get the premium over at redvoicemedia.com. Every 2 weeks, you're going to be able to go to Red Voice free. So next Monday, that'll start where you get the second hour free anyway. But you get the second hour free audio style on Podbean where you can call in. I hope people are enjoying it. Another great way to support me is still Rockfin, guys. Let's check out where we're at on Rockfin. I think we're at 69,000. That's the Podbean if you want to get the second hour of the show. Oh, that's my Buy Me a Coffee, also a great way to support. And we were playing that nice little talk from Bill Gates, who loves us. We're only 700 away from 70,000, right around what we have on YouTube over on Rockfin. And if you pay the $9.99 a month and hit that subscribe button, that helps me, especially if you lock in for $100 for the year. Then you get everybody else's content as well. It's like a Netflix for creators. They're only free, or they're only premium the first couple days. Then we take them down and we allow everybody to watch them. So it's a great way to archive all the uncensored stuff for followers, and it's a great way for you guys to financially support the broadcast as well. All right, let's go down the line. Some more stories here. Harvey Weinstein. Now, people think that, like, I'm doing this out of spite, or, you know, I'm just being cartoon level here. There was a article out there that basically said that Harvey Weinstein had what appeared to be almost like a distorted woman's vagina. I don't want to get too graphic. I know that sounds crazy, but had some weird disease. And in this affidavit, I mean, she said his genitals looked like a sack that had been sewn back on. Okay? Now, I mean, you look at Harvey Weinstein, okay? And that's actually a pretty flattering rendition of Weinstein. I'm sure he paid for that. I mean, you look at Harvey Weinstein. I know they got the mask on him, and he's in the wheelchair, and you're supposed to feel bad for him because he's a feeble old man. Play the old feeble old man game. Oh, draw the sympathy. There's more of a picture of Weinstein right there. That's a better one. So you picture that guy, and I go to Texas Chainsaw Massacre quite a while. But can you imagine like like even partially naked Harvey Weinstein with his face and his body and his apparently disturbingly distorted, even more repugnant than you could imagine genitals as he pleasures himself? Welcome to Hollyweird. Welcome that you want to be in a Miramax movie, huh? You want a line in some Tarantino? You want to say a cool catchphrase? Harv, huh? Old Harvey. So, excuse me, excuse me if I don't report on things like that. By the way, I also, although I don't have the story in front of me, apparently Virginia Giuffre Roberts of the Epstein case has dropped her lawsuit in some kind of an agreement with Dershowitz, saying that she may have been mistaken, saying she had sex with Dershowitz. Now, that was one of the most suspect things that Giuffre Roberts did say because of internal emails. Now, I'm not saying Dershowitz is clean. Let me get that out of the way. I think Dershowitz is a huge mistake for anybody to be connected to him, especially Trump, right? Did Trump really need Dershowitz to not lose the impeachment hearings? No. Any hack could have done that. But Dershowitz is heavily embedded in the establishment. And, you know, that predator class behind the scenes. Look at the relationship with Les Wexner, right? And I'm so glad that, again, Whitney Webb did a bang-up job. People going after Whitney Webb, she didn't say this or she didn't say that in a conversation here or there. You know, those people are such losers. They're such losers. She did such a good job. You can't get everything out there all the time. Sometimes things don't come up organically. Sometimes you're under a time constraint. You do the best you can with what you got. You're a human being. And she's a damn good one. Just want to put that out there. Let's see. Kemp for governor. I'm not sure whether Kemp won or not. That is in Georgia. Let's see. What do we got here? It looks like he did because he's coming out celebrating. We'll see in a second. We're going to go to Kemp for a second. See what we got to say here. Thumbs it up, by the way, guys. Can we get 200 thumbs up? Oh, can't do that. We'll get a copyright strike. We'll get a copyright strike. Hold on. We're going to wait a second. Here we go.
Well, how about them dogs? Well, thank y'all so much. It looks like the reports of my political death have been greatly exaggerated.
So it looks like this is another guy, or another Republican getting in.
And listen, it is a great night to be a Georgian. I want to thank you guys so much for coming to be with our family tonight. Let's hear it for the best First Lady and the best First Daughters in the nation.
Now, I'm not saying that man has been drinking, but I'm not saying he hasn't been drinking. We're going to move on. We don't need to hear much from Kemp. Looks like he's got a victory in the bag, declaring that. And this is the big story right here. Fetterman takes early lead over Oz in Pennsylvania Senate race with votes from Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, but crucial race is too early to call, and result could take days. Oh, it could take days. And then the Hobbs Kari Lake one, you know, Hobbs wouldn't debate, barely didn't. I mean, it was the Joe Biden playbook, but apparently killing. I mean, just killing Kari Lake, right? Okay. And now this Fetterman, I mean, again, it's hard for me to believe that they would even put a candidate like this out there. But then you see what happened with Joey B and Biden, period, right? These people will do anything. So that's one to definitely watch. We're going to be watching that. I want to put this out there. It's a great way to support the broadcast if you can't do so financially. Over on Twitter, if you got an account, I'd love a retweet or basically you trying to get this article right here to Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore starting to speak out against Elon Musk. He's one of my favorite in alternative media for some time. And I think that if he read my RC Reader piece, it goes along very well with the Alan R. McLeod piece of Mint Press exposing Musk as a military-industrial complex puppet. Okay? So with that said, we do it, and we do it live here. We're going to go to your questions and comments. We can always go back to this gentleman in a moment, but here we go. Let's see. Statism is a disease masquerading as its own cure. Look, government exists. It's always existed in some form. All you anarchists out there, I'm a rugged individualist. I want to keep government minimal. I want checks and balances. I want it to be of and for the people. But the idea that you could eliminate states, nation states, it's just ridiculous. If you even go back to when this country was being founded, and in many cases, genocide was taking place with the indigenous people, right? Like how the West was one, and all this migration was actually happening. What did you have in these communities that were building up? Bare minimum, you had sheriffs that were elected by the people. It's a form of government, at its bare minimum level, and you need those things. Anyone who voted without fixing who we vote for or voting is a degenerate gambler. The House always wins. Yes. We got some popcorn over here. Oh, it's Arizona is getting flickle-schnicked over. Time to move. Where to? Iowa, baby. We're doing it in Iowa. Iowa. I guess Grassley also won the Senate seat. Chuck Grassley, not the best, not the worst. But, again, with what this state did during the COVID-19 84 nightmare in comparison to so many others, I'm glad I picked this state. Send some love. Buy me a Cup of Joe. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. Big donations. Thank you so much. That's how we keep it going here. And again, we got the morning show revving up. It's not just once a week now, guys. We did it. We did it. We're doing it 4 days a week. Tomorrow we have Ian Crossland on the program from Timcast. I'm pretty sure that Timcast right now or earlier was doing election coverage live. We're going to be talking a whole lot of graphene, obviously, of technology, transhumanism, and more. So that should be really exciting. And remember, the second hour of those broadcasts are available where? Over at redvoicemedia.com. The links are down below. /Jason exclusively. That's how you sign up. Paul is always, it always has, right? Well, I know that Rand Paul won. Hey, my brother's in there. Out of New York State for me. I can't believe it. The Hochul thing, I love my brother, man. I can't believe he's up right now. Yeah, that guy got a couple little babies running around, keeping them up and around. Yeah, it's great. It's crazy. It's crazy how much. Hochul was an unelected puppet that was put in to quell the real Andrew Capo Cuomo serial killer nursing home story. And they made it about grab ass. He's suing the city. He's probably going to get his money back. There's no real repercussions on him. And this woman's going to be crowned king of New York. Yeah, I said king. She's the king of New York. Are you misgendering her? DJ Spin, how we doing? Bermas Brigade, thumbs it up. Can we get 200 thumbs, folks? Can we do it? Fortification every damn time. Not in every election. Kari Lake going to lose. I don't know. She says she's going to fight it out. There's no way Hochul and Schumer won. Total frauds. I mean, Schumer, they say he got like 70%. Crazy. And that's the other thing with Pennsylvania. That's one of the... Pennsylvania is important because they have a certain lock on that eastern bloc. And Pennsylvania is connected to New York. And although New York City is small, they want all of New York State. They love having that area under the quote-unquote control and the narrative control of this, I guess you have to call it Democratic leftist agenda, right? We're blue no matter who. Okay. There's no way Hochul and Schumer won. Total frauds. Total frauds. Again, who knows? You never know. Check over here on the Rockfin really quick. Oh, we got 41 people watching there. Glad to see that, guys. Thank you so much for joining me there as well. Why do they keep rigging at Arizona? Well, I'm not saying we have any evidence of any rigging. YouTube. We don't want the pre-bunkers coming out here. A lot of votes out, and we'll be counting for days in Arizona. Still shady as hell. Because all the crimes they commit in Arizona, they know no one's hanging. Guys, let's get out of imagination land, okay? Let's move on from the Johnny nonsense, right? The it's happening. Oh, there's secret indictments and people are going to... Hangings? First of all, not what we want. I know I've got a lot of new audience over the past few months, all right? If Jason Bermas got his way, okay, and we had actual fair trials against members of the Predator class, I'll bring you back to somebody I think that we can all relate to right and left, Dick Cheney. Like, if you tried Dick Cheney for his war crimes, all right, which were vast, investigated him into 9/11, you found him guilty, hypothetically, what would you want to do with a guy like Dick Cheney? Well, I contend what you want to do with a guy like Dick Cheney and other people with them is that you actually put them in a maximum supermax security prison, but the caveat is there are high definition live streaming cameras in every single cell and every single room, just like they want for all of us, okay? So at any moment, anybody could log into these cameras in any part of the jail, and at like 3 a.m. on a Thursday, you could tune in and you could watch Dick Cheney cry on the toilet naked. Just saying. I mean, you'd want only adult access. There's going to be adult things happening in this supermax prison. But you do to those people exactly what they want to do to us. They can eat the bugs. They can eat the printed food, right? I mean, I think that that's really what we want. Forget about all these nooses and hanging. That's garbage. Because at the same time that if that ever happened, the Wonderland, where we had those trials, we had those people institutionalized into these places, good and evil exist. Power is a vacuum. Evil people who have sociopathic and psychopathic tendencies gravitate towards those positions. And in many cases, will just replace those people that are now crying on the toilet via a supermax prison webcam. You get it? You see what I'm saying here? Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. All right, let's keep going down the line. And remember, even like Marco Rubio won big. DeSantis won big. Whoop-a-da-doo! Whoop-a-da-doo! You know, all these people over here, let's see, I think it's right here. They take Gates money. They take that sweet, sweet Gates cheese. All these Republicans. Dan Crenshaw, Eliza Stefanik, Chuck Fleischman, Mike Simpson. I don't even know how many of these people actually won. I do know that another big winner was Marjorie Taylor Greene, lover or hater. I think she's done and said some of the better things. Like I said, Rand Paul wins in a landslide also. So a lot of the staples did just run away with it. Again, this Kari Lake situation, I like what she had to say. We'll see where it goes from there. Let's see. Besides all the crimes they committed in Arizona, that's the one we just went over. More Rockfin for me. Roger Stone said Fetterman looks like an actual warlock. Jesse Schmidt. You can do it via Rockfin, or there's a Buy Me a Coffee, Jesse. I'll go refresh that if you're still with us. I do appreciate that. I'll go refresh over on the coffee in a second. And let's see if there's any supporters. There's not. But the link's down there, Jesse. So I'll check in about 5 minutes if you're still watching. There's a longtime supporter of the Bermas Brigade. I hope that you're checking out my stuff over at Red Voice Media. Jeffree Star's in the house. Yeah, I'm sure that's actually Jeffree Star. People don't know who Jeffree Star is. Look into it. I was thinking of moving to Wisconsin. However, with Evers heading to a victory and Ron Johnson in a close race, I may have to rethink it. Ron Johnson, hate his foreign policy, has his problems, still better than a lot of people. We'll see where that election goes. I don't know exactly where it's going to go. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Sometimes we might have to wait days. Sometimes we might have to wait days. Incredible. Lucky Duck, fortified. Maduro is one of the best leaders in the world, says Friendly Brilliant. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if he's one of the worst. How we doing, Bakersfield? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Oh, we got a little Rockfin Tipsky. Mariah Myers, thank you so much. Much love, Jason. Much love to you over at the Rockfin. Really do appreciate that. Hi, Super Seamster. Even Trump popped up Guido at his own party. I don't know what State of the Union address. He did. I saw him pop in and, incredible. DeSantis, incredible. Everybody's incredible. Incredible night. Let's see. Oh, let's see what we got there. Did that jump all the way or no? Nope. We're still actually pretty good here. So there's Jeffree Star still laughing away. Let's see. Mr. Skull and Bones. Nice laugh. Oh, the Maduro laugh. We're that far back. Maduro is a murdering lunatic. I think Kerry actually won the election. Remember Ohio? Several other states. The golden rule, them that got the gold, they make those rules. Diebold, Bev Harris, black box voting. Speaking my language. Oh, yeah. Also, back when Greg Palast did some really great work on the voting machines. His arms look atrophied. Not the red wave they were hoping for, but winning some. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Big Paw here. And, okay, they all serve the elites. Our first woman senator was elected in Alabama. All right. Jan, another longtime supporter over here at the Bermas Brigade broadcast. It's Reality Rants. Sean Penn is 5'8". Zelensky's like a toy. He's so tiny. It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm in California. I'm interested in the Newsom race. F. Newsom. They declared him. Warnock, not Warwick. You're damn right, Adam. You're damn right, Warnock. And he came out. He's not conceding. He's pretty confident. He says they're going to reach that mountain. Hey, yeah. Yeah, no, they're already declaring Newsom the winner. California and New York seem to just be the worst. And it sucks because they're great states. And they're vast. You know, California's not one thing. It's not all an LA or San Francisco cesspit. And San Francisco used to be awesome. Santa Monica was pretty cool too. It's a lot of great places. You know what I'm saying? And like Sonoma, California, upstate. Whoa, gorgeous. A lot of people like San Diego. It's never a big fan, but Jesus. Let's see. That is why it is so necessary to watch a different viewpoint. Yep. The truth is not here. Shitlib Rundgren. I do love me some Dore and his shitlib talk. You need 50% in Georgia no matter what. Oh, there's the jump. There's that jump that I knew was coming. Oh, is it all the way up there? Oh, well, it's close. Close to right there. All right, here we go. Kari Lake is hot. She's a hot mama, apparently. Red drip drop. Both Zelensky and Penn are short and intelligence agents. How does boozing Nancy keep getting reelected? I love that she's now made it official that the intruder was there for her and not her husband, Paul. How long are we going to run with that fairy tale? Like, I mean, come on. Obviously something else going on over at the Pelosi residence. But another in one of these fake interviews where no one's allowed to ask a real question because it's one person, everything's scripted, and we're just going to go along with the great narrative. No real question was asked to that woman. Nothing. Zip, zilch, nada. That's why it took years for somebody to finally ask Bill Clinton about Jeffrey Epstein, and he just smiles at the guy, and the evidence is in. Incredible. I'm glad that got some media play. By the way, 214 thumbs up over on YouTube. Let's get it to 250. It's still Kemp over there on C-SPAN. So here we go. Again, even if they edge him out in the House, will they edge him out in the Senate? Does it even matter? Does it even matter? Man, I hate both these parties. I hear you. I feel you. I get it. I understand what you're saying. Zero effing way that Lake lost. I will be clapping them. Come on now. Let's keep it somewhat PG-13 maybe. I don't vote for criminal syndicates unless I see a candidate that is actually for the people. My ass is staying home. You know? Oh, wait, there it is. She ain't that hot. So is Arizona in? Arizona resident here wanting to know. Not yet, but the media wants her to concede, is what she's saying. We all saw the Kari Lake stuff live. Politics is garbage. I think Pasta is back in Kari Lake. Pasta Jardula, one half of AM Wake Up. And by the way, AM Wake Up is a great way to extend your day, even if you come over to the premium end of the broadcast or you listen over on Podbean Live. Again, Podbean has the morning show in full live. You just lose the video feed. But it's live. And you get the archive of that if you don't want to wait. But after that, AM Wake Up over on Rockfin exclusively, I believe. Pasta Jardula, Steve Poikonen, they're killing it. They do a great job. Stop with the false freaking hope. Who's giving anybody false freaking hope? We're in reality pants over here. I buy some of my silver from Scottsdale Mint. Well, thank you, Super Seamstress Sewing Show. She talks and does the same hand gestures as Trump. Not exactly the same. I think she's much better. She seems like a neocon. Not buying it. Sorry. I disagree. How does Dingle keep getting election to the House? Dingle has one of the worst voting records. Don't know much about Dingle. Is it Dingle or is it Dingle? Let's see who we got here. Senator Catherine Cortez, Democrat in Nevada. Not sure if they've called this race, but let's go.
Officers who are running. They are phenomenal. Our state legislators who are running. And every single Democrat who put their name on the ballot to defend our communities across this state. I am so grateful to all of you for being here and for standing with us here in Nevada. We are not done yet. Here's one thing I know. Our positive energy got us to where we are today, and we are going to make sure that positive energy continues to flow this week. We are going to get this done. In the meantime, I want everybody, the governor and I both, stay here, celebrate, keep those positive thoughts, positive energy going, and we are going to get this done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Democrats, for coming out.
So there she is, and that appeared to me, that speaks that she might not, that is another one that maybe takes days.
And now our incredible governor, Governor Steve Sisolak.
Oh, these people are bad. Let's go back to your questions and comments. Got another Tipsky and Hutch. OTR Trucker says this. Let's see. Russia has for 220 years been genociding the Crimean people. Ukraine only for 100. Now they're fighting viciously as only brothers can over the scraps of the great Mongol nation with her Greek and Ottoman Turk port cities and mostly Turkish population, whatever language they speak. Interesting take on the Ukrainian and Russia conflict. Run, Bermas, run. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'll see about that. We'll see. You never know. Did Kerry win yet? Sounds like it might take a while, or it might not happen. We could take days. Let's not pre-bunk anything. Kerry flaked. Yes, Jason, run. We could use you in office. Let's get a bigger audience first. Let's get people behind a movement for humanity that's not about left or right. Let's challenge the predator class and their narratives. Let's really unify to take hold of our local communities and municipalities before we get Jason Bermas in there. Just saying. I don't vote except today, the first time I voted in 50 years. Damn! I support anyone who pushes back on overreach. And Jason doesn't like anyone. I'm not a huge fan, but I like Kari Lake. I like what she says. So there it is right there. 47% of the votes counted, and Lake supposedly down by 13%. Kerry for president. Arizona is just a wasteland for nuclear waste anyway. Just jumped in. Jason talking about running. No, I'm not talking about running, anybody. Pardon the redundancy. The BS voting never stops. Let's see. If you get enough politicians with balls out there calling this shizzle, it will keep catching on, and they won't be able to just ignore it. Jeffree Star. Man, you got the troll Jeffree Star in there talking about Aaron Carter. Yikes. I'm not in New York anymore. I'm here in Iowa. I'm very happy here in Iowa. I like Iowa. Ladies got some moxie. I agree. Today was my first time in 50 years. Yes, successful and fine. You voted down the line Republican, eh? Eh, comrade? Kerry is the best. Let's see. It doesn't matter who votes. It matters who counts the votes. Just look at 2020 and more recently in Brazil. What is moxie? It's having a little pizzazz. See? A little moxie. Guys, it's approaching midnight. I think that we went over a ton of what's happening and where we're at. Let's see right there. Let me see if we missed any tips over here. I think that we got both tips. Yes, we did. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for this late night broadcast. Let's thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Remember, I am a documentary filmmaker, and I think that my documentary films hold up. All right? There's so many interviews I do with people where we start talking about a subject, and I'm like, yes, I covered that years ago. It's in this film. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture are all free right here, right now. Down below, there is literally a link to all of them. Watch them, share them, make copies, send links of them to other people. We're everywhere. We're on Band.video. We're on BitChute. We're doing it live in the morning on Rumble. We're doing it live in the morning on Red Voice Media. Again, the links are down below. $1 for the first week. $10 a month, $100 for the year. That's a 4-day week of show, and you get the second hour with video. You can support me directly via the Buy Me a Coffee right here. Okay, this is where you can find the audio version. So here's the audio version of today's podcast, yesterday's podcast, both hours. You can also call via the Podbean app if you'd like to get your questions or comments into the broadcast live. Again, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern. It's early. It's early, but a lot of you work. You get up, you got coffee. Rockfin, $9.99 a month. Endorse Jason Bermas, or $100 for the year. A ton of great creators out there as well. And hey, we're trying to get people in the cat video section as well. We got the YouTube. We thank those that thumbs up, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below. It's not about left or right. It's about right and wrong. We will continue to follow the saga tomorrow morning at Red Voice Media. I love you guys. It's Reality Rants with Jason Bermas, and I'll see you on the flip side.